President of Dewan Jamu Indonesia Jawa Timur, Profesor Muhammad Sasmito Jati. Distinguished Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy, Dr. Sandiaga Salahuddin Uno. Distinguished Dean of Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences, Universitas Brawijaya, Dr. Ratno Bagus Edi Wibowo. Distinguished Head of Biology Department, Dr. Yoga Dwi Jatmiko. The Chairman of the 15th ICGRC in conjunction with the first ICGIM, Dr. Dinia Rizky Dwi Jayanti. And also our remarkable keynote speakers, the Honorable Professor Mikio Nishizawa from Ritsumeikan University, Japan, the Honorable Professor Sutiman Bambang Sumitra from Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences, Universitas Brawijaya, Indonesia, the Honorable Dr. Salizawati Muhammad Salhimi from School of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Universitas Sains Malaysia, Malaysia, the Honorable Professor Yuli Widyastuti from National Research and Innovation Agency, Indonesia, the Honorable Dr. Andi Kurniawan from Faculty of Fisheries and Marine Sciences, Universitas Brawijaya, Indonesia, the Honorable Dr. Bagio Yanuyadi from Universitas Brawijaya, Indonesia, the Honorable Dr. Mei Wang from Leiden University, Netherlands, the Honorable Dr. Masruri from Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences, Universitas Brawijaya, Indonesia, and also the participants of Idea Competition 2024, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning, selamat pagi, and peace be upon us. Welcome to the 15th International Conference on Global Resource Conservation, ICGRC, in conjunction with the first International Conference on Jamu and Alternative Medicine, ICGIM. Here I am, Salma Wahid, as your master ceremony, and it is my pleasure to stand before you. The theme of our conference, Harmony in Nature and Health, Bioprospective Practices and Regulatory, underscores the importance of sustainable resource management and the integration of traditional medicine into modern healthcare. Since its inception in 2010, ICGRC has been at the forefront of global discussion on environmental conservation. Today, we embark on a new chapter by partnering with Dewan Jamu Indonesia Jawa Timur to launch the inaugural of the first ICGIM, and we are excited to welcome all of the speakers, researchers, and practitioners from around the world to share their knowledge and expertise. Together, we will explore innovative approaches to preserving our planet and promoting holistic well-being. This event is supported by Yayasan Satria Budi Dharma Setia, Generika Science, Nutrilab Pratama, Elokarsa Utama, Institut Molekul Indonesia, Jamu Ibu, BioWeb of Conferences, Journal of Tropical Life Science, the Journal of Experimental Life Science, Biotropica Journal of Tropical Biology, Jurnal Bioteknologi dan Biosains Indonesia, and also Agrivita Journal of Agricultural Science. And I would like to inform you that this conference is broadcasted live by UB Medcom. To begin our inaugural ceremony, we will sing the Indonesian national anthem that will lead by our conductor. So for all of the attendees, please stand at attention. Thank you. Thank you. Please kindly be seated. Before we proceed with the formal event, let us take a moment of silence to express our gratitude to the Almighty God in our own way. Let us give thanks for the blessing that we have received, for the opportunities that have come in our way, and for the strength to face the challenges that lie ahead. The moment of silence begin. May our gratitude inspire us to be kind, compassionate, and helpful to others. Let us strive to make a positive difference, impact especially by this conference. Thank you. And we now go to the speaking part that will begin with a welcome speech, and I'd be pleased to invite you, the chairman of the 15th ICGRC and the first ICGIM, Dr. Dinia Rizky Dwi Jayanti. Please warmly welcome Dr. Dinia Rizky Dwi Jayanti.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Rector of Universitas Brawijaya, Professor Widodo, President of Dewan Jamu East Java Region, Professor Sasmita Jati, Head of the Department of Biology, Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences, Universitas Brawijaya, Dr. Yoga Dwi Jatmiko, the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy of the Republic Indonesia, Dr. Sandiaga Uno, distinguished speakers, respected guests, and the participants from around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, very good morning. It is with great pleasure and honor that I welcome you all to the 15th International Conference of Global Resources and Conservation, or ICGRC, and the first International Conference on Jamu and Alternative Medicine, or ICGIM, here in Malang, Indonesia, on this beautiful day of September 10 until 11, 2024. I am deeply honored to serve as the chairperson of this prestigious event, to stand before a gathering of such distinguished individuals committed to advancing knowledge in both bioprospecting and conservation. The theme of our conference today, Harmony in Nature and Health, Bioprospecting in Practice and Regulatory, resonates deeply with the global challenge we face today. As we continue to navigate an interestingly industrialized and globalized world, it is crucial that we explore sustainable solutions that harmonize human health and environmental preservation. We stand at the intersection of science innovation and the urgent need for conservation, and this gathering serves as a beacon of hope of driving meaningful change. This year, we are proud to have received 75 abstracts from a wide range of scholars and professionals across the globe, all dedicated to exploring how technology and traditional knowledge can be integrated to benefit both the ecosystem and human well-being. I believe that this conference will be a productive platform for discussion, collaboration, and action toward finding innovative and sustainable solutions. In these coming days, we will explore how biodiversity conservation and bioprospecting are not only our collective responsibility, but also an ethical obligation. We will discuss the role of technology in conserving ecosystem, how sustainable natural resource utilization can contribute to preserving biodiversity and how this approach supports human health well-being. I encourage everyone to actively participate, share ideas, and consider how we can collectively use our knowledge and research to making a lasting impact. Before we proceed, I would like to take a moment to express my gratitude to our distinguished speakers, Professor Mikio Nishizawa from Ritsumeikan University, Japan, Dr. Salizawati from University Science Malaysia, Professor Yuli Widyastuti from BRIN Indonesia, Dr. Mei Wang from Leiden University, Netherlands, also Professor Sutiman Bambang Sumitro from Biology Department Universitas Brawijaya, Dr. Masruri from Chemistry Department Universitas Brawijaya, Dr. Andi Kurniawan, Faculty of Fisheries and Marine Science Universitas Brawijaya, and the last Dr. Bagio Yanuyadi from Biology Department Universitas Brawijaya. Your commitment and expertise are essential to success this conference, and we deeply appreciate your contributions. Let us take this opportunity to not only engage in meaningful discussion, but also establish long-lasting collaborations. Together, we can chart a course toward a future where technological advance support our efforts to conserve biodiversity, enhance human health, and ensure the sustainability of natural resources. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We extend our gratitude to the chairman of the 15th ICGRC and also the first ICGIM, Dr. Dinia Rizky Dwi Jayanti, for her welcoming address. And subsequently, I would like to invite the President of Dewan Jamu Indonesia Jawa Timur to deliver his address. Ladies and gentlemen, let us warmly welcome Professor Muhammad Sasmita Jati, the President of Dewan Jamu Indonesia Jawa Timur.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahilladzi arsala rasulahu bil huda wa dinil haqq liyudhhirahu 'ala dini kullih wa kafa billahi syahida. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarika lahu wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. My distinguished guests and also my distinguished friend here, I just want to say thank you to all of you that you have already come here with any kind of condition. That means all of you appreciate what my endeavor now. So I want to say thanks to Bapak Rektor Universitas Brawijaya, also my distinguished friend from Ritsumeikan here, Professor Mikio Nishizawa. That's last Monday. He went to the Bromo Mountains. It is for me a surprise because he's stronger than me. Also, Bapak Menteri Sandiaga Salahuddin Uno that gave us speaks in online, of course. And then Professor Sutiman Bambang Sumitro, I am the first student belong to her. Ibu Salisawati Muhammad Salhimi from School of Pharmaceutical Science, University of Science Malaysia. Professor Dr. Engineer Julie Widyastuti MP from BRIN, also Bapak Andi Kurniawan, DSc from Faculty of Fishery and Marine Science, Bapak Bagioya Nuwiyadi, I have not seen it. Yeah, I hope you will come here. Ibu Dr. Mei Wang from Leiden University, I hope he joining in online occasion. Bapak Masruri from Chemistry, and also Ibu Putri Kuswisnuwardani, MBA, President Advisory Council of Republik Indonesia. And the last but not least, Ibu Dinia Rizky Dwijayanti, the chairman of this occasion. In this immense pleasure and great enthusiasm to welcome you to this distinguished international conference, the 15th International Conference on Global Resource and Conservation, ICGRC, in conjunction with the first International Conference in Jamu and Alternative Medicine, ICGM 2024, hosted by Department Biology, Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Science, Universitas Brawijaya, and Dewan Jamu Indonesia, East Java region. I'm delighted to extend my warmest greeting to participants, scholar, researcher, industry professional, and distinguished guests from around the world. As we gather here from across the world, we celebrate our shared commitment to the preservation, innovation, and global recognition in traditional medicine. Traditional Indonesian medicine, especially Jamu, has been cornerstone of our cultural heritage for centuries. These rich traditional herbal remedies and holistic healing reflect a profound understanding of nature and human health, and passed down through generations with care and reverse. Today, I am pleased to see our traditional embrace and explore an international forum as we work together to bridge ancient wisdom with modern scientific inquiry. This conference represented a pivotal moment in our collective journey by bringing together expert practitioners and scholars from diverse backgrounds. We create a vibrant platform for dialogues, collaboration, and innovation. It is through this exchange that we can deepen our understanding, address contemporary challenges, and chart a course for future traditional medicine. At Dewan Jamu Indonesia, East Java region, our mission is to uphold and advance the practice of Jamu, ensuring its continued relevance and impact at the 21st century. We are dedicated to fostering research, promoting best practices, and nurturing a global community that values the synergy between traditional and modern approach to health. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each of you for your participation and contribution in this conference. Your presence and insights are invaluable as we collectively explore new possibilities and set the stage for future advancement. Let us seize this opportunity to strengthen our connection, share our knowledge, and build our future where traditional medicine can flourish alongside contemporary medical practices. Thank you for your joining us in this important endeavor. Together, let us celebrate the past, embrace and present in inspiring the future traditional medicine. My colleagues here, I just want to show you the handsome man in the front of you. He is the president of Jamu, Indonesian province. This is our vision and mission. And the important man is, this is our vision and mission. And the next slide. Yeah, please standing for Bapak Sukardiman. You are the vice president here. Yeah. But his name is not Gibran. He's still professor. I believe you are selected person and potential person. Next slide. Yeah, this is organization of the structure of organization in Jamu, Indonesian. This we can look Dinia Rizki, also one of our secretaries, and now they become the leader of this occasion. Next slide. Yeah, the next slide. Okay, the next slide. The next slide. So many people here. Of course, I do not say all of you. Then I just want to say thanks to all of you, to your presence here, and best regard to all of you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We express our appreciation to Professor Sasmito Jati for his disclosure. And distinguished guests, it is our privilege on this significant occasion to humbly request the esteemed presence of Dr. Sandiaga Salahuddin Uno, the Honorable Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy of the Republic of Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in special greeting for Dr. Sandiaga Salahuddin Uno.
I am Sandiaga Salahuddin Uno, Indonesia's Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy, and I would like to deliver my highest appreciations to Indonesia's Jamu Council East Java Chapter and Brawijaya University, particularly the Department of Biology, Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Science, for the initiative to organize the 15th International Conference on Global Resource Conservation, which in conjunction with the first International Conference on Jamu and Alternative Medicine in Malang, East Java. One of the top 3 of Indonesia's wellness economy sector is traditional and complementary medicine, with $5 billion of market size in 2020, and this potential will grow to 21% per year up to 2025. Our goals are to make Indonesia as the epicentrum of global wellness destinations with global competitiveness of wellness products and services. May all of us have a breakthrough foundings, a fruitful discussions, and a harmony of collaborations. And welcome to Malang, the city of tourism and creative economy.
We express our gratitude to Dr. Sandiaga Salahuddin Uno, the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy of the Republic of Indonesia, for his disclosure. Distinguished guests, it is also our privilege to humbly request the esteemed presence of Professor Widodo, the Honorable Rector of Universitas Brawijaya, to deliver his inaugural address and to officially inaugurate the 15th ICGRC in conjunction with the first ICGM. Please join me in extending welcome to Professor Widodo.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Honorable President of Dewan Jamu East Java, Prof. Sasmito Jati, and also Vice President of Dewan Jamu Jawa Timur, Prof. Sukardiman. Saya baru tahu itu. I just know that you are Vice President of Dewan Jamu Jawa Timur. And also the honorable and very respectful two professor that directly supervise me. The honorable distinguished Professor Miki Onizawa and also Professor Sutiman Bambang Sumitro. Thank you so much for providing a lot of knowledge and opportunity for me. And all of the distinguished speaker participants that attend for today's seminar. So it is great pleasure to welcome you all to this very important occasion. So today we embark on the journey into the world nature remedies, an exploration how ancient wisdom meet modern science in the field of herbal medicines. As we know that herbal medicine represents a remarkable intersection between tradition and innovations. And I think for 1,000 years of our ancestors have relied on the healing properties of plant, harnessing nature bounty to support health and well-being. And we are especially excited to highlight a significant contribution of Universitas Brawijaya in terms of realm of traditional medicine of Jamu. Jamu as traditional Indonesian herbal medicine has been known, and also this is very important during the historic of Indonesia. This is also today's seminar also in lining with vision of Universitas Brawijaya, that we want to have to renew the traditional wisdom and traditional culture to meet with the scientific culture and scientific wisdom also. And today's seminar also underscores the important sustainable and also eco-friendly practices in the human life. And here we highlight the vital role of the green chemistry play in the research, development, to ensure that our approaches are environmentally responsible. Through this seminar, we will hear from distinguished experts, including researchers from Universitas Brawijaya and of course from various universities that attends to the events. And we hope that the event also will fruitful, a lot of discussion and sharing regarding the traditional medicine, Jamu, and also eco-friendly technology. So I'm confident that this conference will be both enlightening and inspiring for all, and also it is with a great pleasure and I obviously to anticipate a fruitful discussion. So I obviously declare to the 15th International Conference on Global Resource Conservation in conjunction with the first International Conference on Jamu and Alternative Medicines are open. Thank you for your participation and for making this conference a memorable and productive experience. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We express our heartfelt gratitude to Professor Widodo for presiding over the 15th ICGRC in conjunction with the first ICGIM. And ladies and gentlemen, let us capture this moment first with a photo group session. And I would like to invite all of the speakers, both keynote and invited speakers, to come forward to the stage. And also the Honorable Rector of Universitas Brawijaya and the Head Department of Biology to come forward to have a photo group session. And maybe for all of the participants, please stay in your place and wait for the next instruction to have the photo group session. Dua kali, Pak. Bapaknya dulu, biar ininya kelihatan. Ya. Okay, maybe turn around so we can also capture our participants. Okay, once again, please, and turn around. Okay, thank you. And maybe for all the participants, you may come to the center of the room so we can all capture you. Maybe for all the committee, please help our attendees. Thank you for your cooperation. You may back to your seat, please. Once again, I would like to say that we are grateful for the invaluable support from our sponsor who have played a vital role in the success of this conference. They are Yayasan Satria Budi Dharma Setia, Genetika Science, Nutrilab Pratama, Elokarsa Utama, Institut Molekul Indonesia, Jamu Ibu, BioWeb of Conferences, Journal of Tropical Life Science, the Journal of Experimental Life Science, Biotropica Journal of Tropical Biology, Journal of Biotechnology dan Bioscience Indonesia, and also Agrivita Journal of Agricultural Science. Thank you for your continued support to our conference. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of opening ceremony and the official convention shall proceed to the plenary session after 15 minutes morning break. Please enjoy the rest of ICGRC and the first ICGIM. Once again, thank you. Okay, the next following session is a 15-minute coffee break. So for all of the attendees, you may enjoy our beverage and also our main course on the side of the room. Thank you.
Brawijaya University is a favorite campus in Indonesia. The students come from various regions in Indonesia as well as from abroad. Brawijaya University was foundation of Malang High School in 1963. Located in the center of Malang city, which is famous for fresh and cool air, Brawijaya University has created a great environment with well-maintained spatial and supported by quality teachers from Brawijaya University and out of Brawijaya University, making Brawijaya University as a comfortable and conducive campus.
Universitas Brawijaya has vision to be a pioneering and innovative university with international reputations of science and technology advancements that form the basis of culture-based industries for communities' welfare. Universitas Brawijaya mission are: first, provide graduates with international standard education that instill in them belief in Almighty God and religious piety, noble character, self-reliance, professionalism, and entrepreneurial spirit. Second, play the role of university as an agent of renewal, pioneers and disseminator of science, technology, art, and humanities, as well as force of the nation economic development based on the value of noble local wisdom. And third, implement superior, equitable, and sustainable higher education governance.
Currently, Brawijaya University is one of the excellent universities in Indonesia, with more than 60,000 students in various degrees, starting from 6 programs for the 3-year diploma and 2 programs for the 4-year diploma. Brawijaya University also has 9 professional programs and 18 medical specialist programs. Those are supported by more than 140 teachers and 400 research lecturers who experience teaching and researching in various fields, technology, science, and humanities. Brawijaya University is ready to develop quality and international standard education process to produce graduates with international competitiveness. Brawijaya University, as the embodiment of commitment, as world-class entrepreneurial university, various facilities, infrastructure, and various vehicles in various student activities are provided to ensure the creating of participants and excellent students. Many graduates of Brawijaya University currently occupy important positions and contribute to Indonesians or international level. Brawijaya University always promotes students' grade and quality to continue to achievements, compete and develop talent interests. In global competitions, not only academic, but also non-academic fields is the same priority to increase achievement of Brawijaya University students. Involving in social life in a campus will create a good and whole university experience. Other than that, social engagement will help increase available skills and develop some of soft skills that are maximums: interpersonal relationships, communications, public speaking, and time management. Brawijaya University provides facilities to improve the quality of academic facilities. Among these are academic facilities, the library, Laboratory for Biological Sciences and Food Sciences (LSIH), Central Laboratory of Science and Engineering (LSSR), Institute of Research and Community Services Brawijaya University LPPM. Institute for Educational Development and Quality Assurance LPPPM. PJM. International Office. Biosense Institute. UB Media and Communication Group. UB Press. Integrated Laboratory. UB Forest. Agrotechnopark. Center for Disability Studies and Services. Interest and Talent Facilities. Student Activity Units. Pertamina Sport Arena. Sport Clubhouse Pertamina UB. Samanta Krida Hall. Widya Loka Hall. Football field and other sport facilities at Dieng campus. Supporting facilities. UB bus fleet. Student dormitory. Employee cooperative KPRI. International Students Dormitory. Bank and ATM Center. Post Office. Masjid Raden Patah. Compost Processing Facilities. Halal Canteen. Alumni Facilities. They are Alumni Association System, Career Entrepreneurship Development Unit of Universitas Brawijaya, Business Incubator, Information Technology and Computers Facilities. They are Academic Information System, Registration and Selection for Students Information System, New Student Admissions Information System Online, an Integrated Service Information System Portal, Student Academic Information System, Decision Support System, Research and Community Service Information System, Bandwidth Internet Capacity, Safety and Health Facilities. They are Firefighting and Rescue, Ambulance, Health Clinic, UB Hospital, e-counseling UB or counseling.ub.ac.id. Universitas Brawijaya as an inclusive excellence campus based on international educations continues to improve the quality of services. Universitas Brawijaya as a leading university with our international standards through the process of education, research, and service to the community are going to increase the achievements and to improve the innovations. With pride and confidence, Universitas Brawijaya will continue to improve its quality both at the national and international levels, building up the noble future.
Genetica Science Indonesia was established in 2008, which is made up of distinct companies that focus on the distribution, sales, and marketing of life science and biomedical sciences products and services. Life science research has significant applications in various fields, including medicine, agriculture, biotechnology, environmental science, and conservation biology. It also plays a crucial role in addressing pressing global issues such as disease outbreaks, climate change, and food security. Genetica Science is committed to always supporting the life science research community in Indonesia with a comprehensive range of products, services, and expertise. Our dedication stems from our deep understanding of the crucial role that research plays in advancing scientific knowledge and improving lives. Genetica Science, total solution for your laboratory needs.
Institut Molekul Indonesia adalah lembaga penelitian yang terdiri atas akademisi-akademisi di Universitas Brawijaya yang memiliki keinginan untuk bisa mentransformasikan pemikiran-pemikiran dunia akademis untuk bisa dinikmati masyarakat luas, menjadi bagian dari teknologi yang diterapkan. Institut Molekul Indonesia merupakan sebuah lembaga yang juga melakukan kerjasama dengan berbagai macam lembaga penelitian, universitas, dan semua pihak.
Ada beberapa keunggulan dari Institut Molekul Indonesia. Yang pertama, institut ini fokus kepada riset pada molekul-molekul kecil dan sederhana yang nantinya akan bermanfaat bagi bidang kesehatan untuk meningkatkan kualitas hidup masyarakat yang pada akhirnya akan meningkatkan kesejahteraan masyarakat. Kemudian keunggulan yang kedua adalah institut ini merupakan hub antara pemerintah, institusi swasta, peneliti, akademisi, dan pebisnis dalam mewujudkan hasil-hasil riset sehingga memiliki daya guna dan manfaat yang besar bagi masyarakat. Kemudian keunggulan yang ketiga dari institut ini adalah institut ini akan menjadi lembaga yang membiayai riset-riset dalam bidang kesehatan, khususnya yang terkait dengan molekul-molekul sederhana dan kecil, tidak hanya bagi nasional tetapi juga lembaga-lembaga internasional.
Bahwa salah satu tujuan pendirian ini adalah mempelajari bagaimana molekul-molekul itu berinteraksi dalam makhluk hidup, dan molekul-molekul yang berinteraksi ini kemudian bisa menjadikan faktor komunikasi dan homeostasis dalam tubuh yang selama ini mungkin kita masih belum mudah untuk memahami. Dan di samping itu juga IMI ini harapannya bisa menjadi salah satu wadah bagi pemerhati tentang molekul dan implementasi molekul itu di dunia kesehatan.
Untuk itu kita berharap bahwa Institut Molekul Indonesia itu berkembang dengan baik, memberikan peran nyata bagi implementasi pemikiran kampus menjadi sebuah kegiatan-kegiatan ekonomi di dunia industri dan bisnis secara umum.
Brawijaya University is a favorite campus in Indonesia. The students come from various regions in Indonesia as well as from abroad.
Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention that our first plenary session will be held in 5 minutes. Thank you.
Which is famous for fresh and cool air, Brawijaya University has created a great environment with well-maintained spatial and supported by quality teachers from Brawijaya University and out of Brawijaya University, making Brawijaya University as a comfortable and conducive campus.
Universitas Brawijaya has vision to be a pioneering and innovative university with international reputations of science and technology advancements that form the basis of culture-based industries for communities' welfare. Universitas Brawijaya mission are: first, provide graduates with international standard education that instill in them belief in Almighty God and religious piety, noble character, self-reliance, professionalism,
and entrepreneurial spirit. Second, play the role of university as an agent of renewal, pioneers and disseminator of science, technology, art and humanities, as well as force of the nation economic development based on the value of noble local wisdom. And third, implement superior, equitable, and sustainable higher education governance.
Currently, Brawijaya University is one of the excellent universities in Indonesia, with more than 60,000 students in various degrees, starting from 6 programs for the 3-year diploma and 2 programs for the 4-year diploma. Brawijaya University also has 9 professional programs and 18 medical specialist programs. Those are supported by more than 140 teachers and 400 research lecturers who experience teaching and researching in various fields, technology, science, and humanities. Brawijaya University is ready to develop quality and international standard education process to produce graduates with international competitiveness. Brawijaya University, as the embodiment of commitment, as world-class entrepreneurial university, various facilities, infrastructure, and various vehicles in various student activities are provided to ensure the creating of participants and excellent students. Many graduates of Brawijaya University currently occupy important positions and contribute to Indonesians or international level. Brawijaya University always promotes students' grade and quality to continue to achievements, compete and develop talent interests. In global competitions, not only academic, but also non-academic fields is the same priority to increase achievement of Brawijaya University students.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 15th ICGRC in conjunction with the first ICGIM. For the following session, please welcome our keynote speaker, Professor Mikio Nishizawa from Ritsumeikan University, Japan, and Professor Sutiman Bambang Sumitro from Universitas Brawijaya, Indonesia. On this occasion, the first plenary session will be led by moderator by Professor Muhammad Sasmito Jati. He is in expertise in reproduction and immunology and has so many publications such as aerial parts of Selaginella deoderleni heron as an anti-cancer agent against luminal A breast cancer cell line, and also many publications about Elephantophus caber, ethanolic leaves extract modulates IL-2 production, and T lymphocyte activation in pulmonary fibrosis mice model in 2024. And now kindly be invited to the stage Professor Muhammad Sasmito Jati to lead the plenary session.
Okay. Thank you, Mbak MC. Okay, this occasion I will invite Professor Mikio Nishizawa, also Professor Sutiman. Please come in the front at this. MC, how long we will discuss in this occasion? For 10 minutes or 20 minutes? I forget the schedule.
Each speaker will have 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Okay, it's long.
Following 15 minutes discussion.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have 1 hour to presenting this session, and I hope Professor Mikio and then Professor Sutiman will presenting their idea and presenting their research. Okay, the first Professor Mikio Nijizawa. I think it's not need to introduce yourself because everyone here know you. Yeah. Is professor in Ritsumeikan University, and between Ritsumeikan University we have collaboration more than decades. So we like close friend. Yeah. So almost many students from biology department study there, and so many alumni already come here. Okay, Professor. This.
Okay. Thank you for very kind and gentle introduction. And I'm Mikio Nishizawa from Ritsumeikan University, Japan, and I'm working on traditional Japanese medicine, Kanpo medicine. And Kanpo medicine has very much relationship. So it was a long period we are collaborating with the people in Brawijaya University and many people working also in Kanpo medicine. So it is my pleasure to come here and the invitation to here. It is very much pleasure for me. Yeah, I can start slides. Yeah, I'm talking about 5 points. So just explain about traditional Japanese medicine, Kanpo medicine. And then explain about my analysis of compounds included in crude drugs from herbal plants. And then later I'll explain the examples of our studies. So let's start the traditional Japanese medicine, Kanpo medicine. The next slide, please. So it is just last figure of the crude drugs and foods and pharmaceuticals. So x-axis is chemical purity. The pharmaceuticals such like aspirin is very pure and without any chirality. And maybe in Indonesia, we can call it obat. And then, y-axis is pharmacological potency. And foods and plants are the low potency of pharmacological activity. And of course, chemical purity is very low. But between foods and pharmaceuticals, there is crude drugs. They are used for Japanese traditional medicine, Kanpo, and also Jamu. So both are used using crude drugs. So in Jamu is included these kind of foods, sometimes foods and crude drugs. So you can imagine these kind of things. So next slide, please. So I'll focus on traditional Japanese medicine, Kanpo. In the Kanpo medicine, it is very common. And if you search PubMed or Google Scholar, you can find Kanpo or Kanpo medicine frequently. It is already a word, a common word in PubMed. So Campo medicine is very famous, but it is transferred from ancient China. It is very, very old times, so 5th and 6th century. The very old crude drugs is kept in one temple, Todaiji, and in Shosoin there is very old crude drugs transported from ancient China, and it is a very important point. Each Campo formula, each Campo medicine has several crude drugs, almost crude drugs, roots, flowers, and fruits. Sometimes other things are included, but usually most of them are crude drugs from medicinal plants, like rhizome, roots, or fruits, or flowers, or flower buds. And very characteristic feature is that the ancient China has still traditional Chinese medicine, but it is almost different from our Campo medicine, because Campo medicine is adapted to ours, Japanese people. So it is much less toxic and much more effective. So it is a point. So next slide, please. So we blend several crude drugs as Campo formula. This Campo formula is around 150 formulas in total, and it is written in Japanese pharmacopoeia. This Japanese pharmacopoeia is made by the government. The government instructed the committee to make good books to keep quality of the crude drugs. And of course, the recipe of the Campo formula should be according to the Japanese pharmacopoeia. It is very important point. So even small drug stores, the Japanese pharmacopoeia can be used and check crude drugs. So the final, the Shakuya Kanzoto, it is shown. It is like granules and one small package. It is used for acute pain, especially for athlete. It is just two crude drugs are mixed. And if you have calf pain, so this portion, sometimes it becomes very much pain, causes very much pain. In these cases, Shakuya Kanzoto works very well. Within 10 minutes, there are no pain, and of course, no doping. Doping list is such kind of components is not included. So next slide, please. Next, please. Yeah. So we are focusing on major constituents and principal constituents. So major constituent is compounds included in major part of crude drugs. So it is used for quality check of crude drugs. So this one is very easy to test, like using TLC or many easy methods we can try. And principal constituent, it's our targets. So principal constituent is the most effective compounds, and it is not always the same as major constituents. So many students, our students and many researchers working on principal constituents has real pharmacological effect, or what kind of pharmacological effect is present. So in Jamu also these two constituents are important to check, quality check and pharmacological check. So next slide, please. So, purification and identification of constituents in crude drugs, it is very important point. So, next slide, please. So, we usually use methanol because an hydrophobic constituents are very easy to be extracted with methanol. Of course, it is not for medical use, it is a laboratory use, so we use methanol. But for industrial use, of course, methanol or other things are used, or hot water is used. But hot water extract not so much, so methanol is better. If methanol, ethanol is removed, there is no problem. And in laboratory, this kind of apparatus are used, and brown powder, it is methanol extract without any methanol. And from this extract powder, we obtain the compounds. Next slide, please. So, left side, crude drugs in a big flask, and extract, and then with column chromatography and other method to obtain pure compound, in this case white powder. And then spectral analysis, so-called MS, mass spectrometry, and NMR, or IR, UV, so many people are familiar with these words. But to determine natural products, to identify the structure of natural product is very difficult, even for the trained expert researchers. And I and my students using the screening using nitric oxide assay. Yeah, it is a specific assay to evaluate anti-inflammatory effect. So, next slide, please. So, it is a rough scheme for the crude extraction. So, methanol extract can be successively fractionated into 3 types of fractions. Ethyl acetate soluble fraction, it is hydrophobic. So it includes terpenoid, phthalate, essential oil, flavonoids, and so on. So without glucose or other sugars. And second one is N-butanol soluble fraction. We call it fraction B. So glycosides is included, or saponins are included. Of course, alkaloids are also included. These fractions function as prodrugs. It means once we ingest it, we take such kind of crude drug extract, then this N-butanol soluble fraction will be degraded by intestinal bacteria and then give active aggregates. And the final one is water soluble fraction. So it is called fraction C, sugars or peptides, and so on. Phenylpropanoid is also included. So we use these 3. Next slide, please. So from here, I'll explain about the evaluation of constituents in crude drugs using rat hepacide. Yeah, next slide, please. So it is nitric oxide formation. It is not familiar for you, but for innate immunity, nitric oxide is very important to kill bacteria or viruses. So nitric oxide is made from L-arginine and gives nitric oxide. This nitric oxide is a bit harsh and classified as radicals, and it gives a strong effect, vasodilation, neurotransmission, and antibacterial and antiviral activities. So it is very highly strong, radical. Next slide, please. It is the liver. In the liver, when bacterial infection comes, then bacteria gives the cell wall. In the cell wall, endotoxin, lipopolysaccharide, LPS is included, and LPS stimulate Kupffer cells. Kupffer cell is a resident macrophage in the liver, and it gives nitric oxide and TNF-alpha, pro-inflammatory cytokine, tumor necrosis factor alpha. And these gives vasodilation or sometimes tissue injury. Of course, it kills bacteria. Nitric oxide kills bacteria and viruses. And also, another alternative way is by a hepatocyte. So, IL-1 beta is secreted from Kupffer cells, and then IL-1 beta stimulates hepatocyte to produce much more amount of nitric oxide. But too much nitric oxide or TNF-alpha causes tissue injury, and it causes septic shock. Sometimes it causes cytokine storms. Maybe cytokine storm is familiar for you during coronavirus infection. So it is caused by nitric oxide or TNF-alpha and other cytokines. And finally, it causes blood pressure, causes a decrease of blood pressure, shock, and multiple organ failure. It causes death. So, next slide, please. So we use the primary culture cell from the liver of wheat, and then it is very easy to prepare. So hundreds of dishes are obtained from one liver of the rat. And medium and protein in the medium and in the cells and messenger RNA can be measured. So next slide, please. So it is a profile of expression of inducible nitric oxide synthase and nitric oxide and also iNOS protein. So usually messenger RNA produces then the protein to synthesize nitric oxide. So iNOS protein is produced, then NO is produced. These are checked like this. So the cells are like this. So two lines are made like in the liver. So it is very easy to perform to check the anti-inflammatory effect. So nitric oxide level is a good marker to see the anti-inflammatory effect. And if the something anti-inflammatory compounds is added in the medium in the presence of IL-1 beta, nitric oxide level becomes lower. Then it means nitric oxide level is decreased, and in most cases, many cytokines are also suppressed. So it is a good way to see the situation in the cells. As a marker, the nitric oxide is a marker to see this condition of anti-inflammatory effects and inflammatory responses. So we use these cells in many cases. So next slide, please. Yeah. The most important thing is how crude drugs works. The screening method is okay, but how it works is very important. So from now, I'll explain in vitro pharmacological effects using rat hepatocyte and also several analytical method. So next slide, here. So as I explained before, so crude fractionation into 3 fractions. So ethyl acetate soluble fraction A has very potent pharmacological active compounds are included in this fraction. And the other fraction, of course, has some, but ethyl acetate soluble fraction is easy to check the most powerful anti-inflammatory substances or compounds. So we focused on this fraction A and checked by HPLC and mass spectrometry. Next slide, please. So it is one example. It is a Peonias fruticosa in Japan, Botampi. Maybe someone see and this flower. Flower itself has no pharmacological effect, but the root cortex has much strong effect. So I purified with my students, and then several compounds are obtained. And just see the peonol beta PGG methylgalate causes decrease in the dependent on the concentration. It is the way of suppression of NO production. IL-1 beta induced NO production is suppressed by the constituent of Peonias fruticosa roots. So it is very easy because even bachelor can do this kind of experiment. So it is very easy. Of course, next slide, please. And so identification of the chemical structure, it is impossible for bachelor, of course. Graduate students made this one by NMR, using NMR and measuring rotation. So it's okay. So peonol is very famous constituent. But peonol has less active. Most active thing is a very long name, 1,2,3,4,6 pentagaloyl beta D glucose, beta PGG. It is a glucose in the center, and 5 gallic acid are connected, linked. It is a very specific structure and characteristic for Peonias fruticosa root cortex. It is most active, at least reduce NO production very much. And peoniflorin, it is a major constituent. It is very rich in Peonias fruticosa. So this one is glycoside, but it does not work so well. It has little function. So for anti-inflammatory effect, so beta PGG is the most powerful. Next slide, please. So it is another example. It was made by one student from Brawijaya University, Febi. So from rhizome, it is like a very, so not potato, it is a rhizome of Conidium officinale. It is a very strange form, but from this one, several phthalates are obtained, and it is checked by GC mass. Maybe in Brawijaya University, GC mass is present, so it can be checked, but it is very fine discrimination. It is very difficult to divide like this. So only active is senquinolide A and Z-lingusterid. These two compounds are very strong activity to suppress IL-1 beta induced NO production in rat hepatocyte. So it is very easy way if once the compounds are identified. So this article is very much cited. It is a top 10 articles in this in the 2021. So it is very famous one and mostly cited. Next slide, please. So it is just a rat hepatocyte I use. From here, it is more applications shown. So next slide, please. So anti-inflammatory effect is only one side of the pharmacological effect of crude drugs. Of course, there are several ways of things. So first one is to kidney, immunoglobulin A nephropathy, IgA nephropathy is possible, present. So atherosclerosis sinensis rhizome, it is Soju's one of the famous crude drug in Campo medicine. It works very well. And anemia, Polygonum multiflorum roots, it is cashew. It is also used to anemia, or it is used. And the third one is obesity and type 2 diabetes mellitus. Sometimes Momodica carantia, it is bitter melon, pare, in Indonesia, it is used for antibiotic effect. So several ways we can try. So next slide, please. So it is a rhizome of atherosclerosis sinensis. From here, these rhizomes, three compounds are obtained: hinazole, beta-oidesmol, and atherothyroidine. We compare these three compounds, and these three are very good for the activity. So atherothyroidine, it is a polyacetylene. It works very well in the suppression of nitric oxide. So it is used, so right side it is a detailed explanation, but it works. Atherothyroidine is the most powerful one. And then we tried, the next slide please, we tried to immunoglobulin A nephropathy. So immunoglobulin A nephropathy is very common. It is very common in Japan and also in East Asia, Southeast Asia also, I think. And it is very bad because an end stage will come within 20 or 30 years, and 20 or 30% past patients will become chronic kidney disease. They require kidney transplantation or dialysis. So it is very bad. So if there is some drugs to delay the onset of chronic kidney disease, it is very good. And IgA deposition in glomeruli occurs and causes complement-mediated pathway activation. So no specific medicines are required. So we tried to use atherosclerosis sinensis rhizome, and we use high IgA mouse. It is a model mouse of human IgA nephropathy. Next slide, please. Next, please. Yeah. So biopsy is a normal mat, and here is a high immunoglobulin A mouse. And ACRA, it means the rhizomes of atherosclerosis sinensis extract. So here minus, you can see downside center. So you can see deposited glomeruli. It is very bad and causes tissue injury, glomerular injury. But right side, if the soldiers atherosclerosis sinensis extract is added, such deposition disappears, clearly disappears. It works very well. So it is, of course, mass model, but it can be transferred to human beings. So next slide, please. So it is another example. So polygonal multiform routes. So we usually use this kind of 3D HPLC fingerprint. It is required for some journals, chemical journals. Such kind of things are required, and we should obtain this and identify these compounds. So it is possible to see several different compounds simultaneously. Of course, it is connected with mass spectrometry. So such kind of 3D HPLC fingerprint is required. And then this one, polygonal multiform routes are used for healthy mice. Next slide, please. Yeah, left side is just a plant, upper part. And then we obtained THSG. It is one of the stilbene-like substances, compounds, and it causes the increase of serum erythropoietin. Do you know serum erythropoietin? Serum erythropoietin differentiate and grows red blood cells. So it is very favorable for us, especially for anemia. When we administer healthy rat with this THSG from polygonal route, it gives the increase of erythropoietin. So right side is very light. It shows THSG increased erythropoietin production in normal, healthy mice. So it is favorable. So we can be healthy with this crude drug. Next slide, please. And also this one is made by with bitter melon fruit. It is an immature bitter melon fruit. You are very familiar to this one. And then, yeah, this one is also grown in Okinawa in Japan. So we use it as its anti-diabetic effect. So next slide, please. So the main substance is cucurbitacin B. So cucurbitacin B, it is a polyterpenoid, like a momodicin. So it works very high activity in the suppression of nitric oxide production. And next slide, please. And we use this kind of OB mice, obese mice with very fat mouth. It is very useful as a model of type 2 diabetes mellitus. Next slide, please. And then we administer for 7 days. So right side table, OB plus minus BMFA. It is a bitter melon fruit extract. So it gives lowering of blood glucose level. It is very strong.
Sensi, 5 minutes more.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
5 minutes more. So next slide, please. So if you see the liver, so OB mouse has a lot of white portion. Left side, it is a lipid droplet in the hepatocyte. On right side, so orange region is shown. Orange region is oil-red or stained triglyceride. Triglyceride are stained in orange by oil-red or stain. So you can see minus is without bitter melon fruit extract, plus is bitter melon fruit extract plus. So plus gives less area of white portion and less area of orange portion. So it gives a lowering of lipids. Next slide, please. So until now, I explained the application of the crude drugs of Campo medicine for IgA nephropathy and anemia, and also lipid accumulation as a type 2 diabetes. So from now, so similar things may be made in Jamu plants in Indonesia. So there are many names for medicinal plants in Indonesia. Jahe, so I take and Jahe, but different name for Japanese name and Sundanese name a little bit different. And we should connect with Latin name and English names. So papaya, ketesh, gedan, papaya. I can understand now. So it is very complicated. So we write a paper with Sasmito Sensei and Denia and so and Andy-san and these kind of things. It should be investigated later. So next slide, please. And so these points should be checked pharmacologically or taxonomy and empirical things and HPLC, mass spectrometry. All these things should be combined together. Then Jamu study becomes much, much better, I think. So last slide. Yeah, nothing conflict of interest I have. So I thank many people. Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, give applause to Professor Mikio Nizawa for next session. Please go ahead, Prof. Sutiman. Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam.
Saya akan berdiri. Terima kasih pada panitia, Prof. Sasmito yang mengundang saya untuk bisa sharing pada kesempatan kali ini. Kita matikan aja ya. Temanya itu adalah combining Eastern and Western thinking cultures. Riset yang dilakukan itu adalah wellness with nanobubble technology to deliver gasotransmitters. Agak campuran bahasa Indonesia ya. Lebih nyaman saya. Okay. Any complaint? No? No ya. Slide pertama please. This is the thinking cultures, different thinking cultures between Eastern and Eastern cultures and Westerns. Eastern usually is holistic. That is traditional medicines, non-linear thinkings, comprehensive and transcendence. Usually we are also talking about life after death, Mr. Professor Mikio. This is in Indonesia. I think also in Japan, yeah. Life after death. Not Western. Western, they don't talk about life after death. In the Western culture, the type of thinking, their thinking ways is analytic and reductionistic. This is a linear but partial. It's always partial. It is always focused, like already presented by Professor Mikio. This should be analyzing and then having a compound, a biological, bioactive compound. Yeah. So it has become obat or drugs. So already it will become drugs. And the target is human prosperity. Kemaslahatan umat, kehidupan di dunia itu, human prosperity. The science usually is a modern biology, molecular cellular concept, and molecular and cellular biology, genetic engineering, modern medical science, etc. It is standardized, measurable, and reproducible. It is the terminology of Western thinking cultures. Yeah. Next slide, please. This is a Western medical science. Usually, there is an analytical reductionist approach. Now we are molecular biology, cellular biology. This is an analytical reductionist approach. Yeah. The next slide, please. And we also know, even in Western and Eastern, there is an holistic medicine. Holistic medicine is a form of healing that consider the whole person body, mind, spirit, and emotions in the quest for optimal health and wellness. According to the holistic medicine philosophy, we can achieve the best possible health by gaining proper balance in life. So holistic medicine terminology are dealing with the balance of life. Holistic medicine practitioners believe that the whole person is made up of parts that depend on one to another's. And if one part isn't working properly, all the other parts will be affected. So if you have or we have imbalance, physical, emotion, or spiritual in our life, it can harm our overall health. Can you understand? It's purely English. Okay, so next slide. So the holistic medicines combining Eastern and Western is based on actually the same philosophy, but different perspective. Like for instance, the Eastern philosophy is the whole is greater and smarter than the sum of the part. So when we are already isolated the components, then all of the components, some of that all components will have a different effects when as compared to the naturals dengan bahan alamiahnya, ya. So, but in the Western they say like this: killing two birds with one stone. Just taking one actions, all will be affected, or many are affected. We have already got the lecture from Professor Nishizawa that the Jamu, they can affect it. They can make better for kidneys, for the heart, from the livers, yeah. With one thing that we drinks, but there will be affected into many things. Killing two birds with one stone. Actually, this is the same. This is the same things, but different perspective. Yeah. The Westerns always trying to have the target, but the Eastern philosophy, there is no target. Yeah, it is difference. Even though the action is the same. Yeah. Slide, another slide. Now, I would like to introduce to all of you the gasotransmitter for degenerative disease, because degenerative disease is a disease with very complex. We have sometimes diabetes, but then we have kidney problems. We have heart problems. Yeah. So it is actually the degenerative disease can be solved, can be overcoming using Jamu. And now I would like to introduce you the gasotransmitters. The gasotransmitter is Western's philosophy-based science. But if we would like to talk with the gasotransmitter, the actions will be like Eastern's perspective. Gasotransmitter is endogenous gases signaling molecules like nitric oxide, carbon monoxide, and hydrogen sulfide, H2S. Nitric oxide is dangerous. Carbon monoxide is very, very dangerous. But actually at a very tiny concentrations, they will have a beneficial, we can overcoming the situation. Then they will act as a neuronal transmitters. The publications are very, very much publication about that. So nitric oxide at very small concentration, carbon and monoxide at very small concentration is used by the cell for the communications, including H2S. Collectively called as gasotransmitters, regulate various physiological and pathophysiological processes. They offer significant advantage over traditional small molecule gases in treating degenerative disease. Various therapeutic properties of these gases, such as antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, anti-apoptotic, and vasodilatory properties. Next slide, please. Gasotransmitter is a class of neurotransmitters. The molecules are distinguished from other bioactive endogenous gaseous signaling molecules based on a need to meet distinct characterization criteria. Currently, only nitric oxide, carbon monoxide, and hydrogen sulfide only. These particular gases share many common features in their production and function, but carry on their tasks in a unique ways which differ from classical signaling molecules. We can search this information, many things. We can Googling this. Gasotransmitter as a volatile intracellular messenger molecules with complex interactions with one another in compensatory and reciprocal fashion when the level of one is depleted under pathological condition. So if one is depleted, it will be affected overall. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is just illustration did by Yao Xu et al. In 2023. May I use? I would like to show you these Yao illustrations. This is mitochondria, and this gasotransmitter, nitric oxide, carbon monoxide, and H2S. Usually, we can get this neurotransmitter from herbal, from Jamu. Yeah, I just in a short just to say that this positive electrical charge can make a vasoregulation and anti-inflammatory, like Professor Miki already said. They can prevent the disease, but they can also have an antioxidant, anti-apoptotic, and the protective of radical irritations. So when these three gasotransmitters, when three gasotransmitters are too much, it will make an inflammations. But when it is controlled at a low concentration, less than 20 micromolars, they will have a functions. So they will prevent the disease. So we will develop a kind of therapeutical or preventions from the disease by administrating this gasotransmitter. Next slide, please. In biological, physiological terminology, we know that hormesis. What is the hormesis? Hormesis is a two-phase dose-response relationship. This hormesis is an environmental agent whereby low dose amount have a beneficial effect and high dose amount are either inhibitory function or toxic. So at a high will be toxic, but at a low concentration they have a beneficial. We can see this at a very low concentration. There will be some simulation, but at a high dose it will be some toxic or inhibition, like inflammation. Physiological concentration of an agent above or below hormesis, below homeostasis, may adversely affect an organism. Where the hormetic zone is a region of homeostasis, of balanced nutrition. We can say in a pharmacology that hormetic zone is similar to the therapeutic windows. So this is a kind of therapeutic windows. We would like to manage the vasotransmitter at a very low concentrations. But how? How we can make or regulate the vasotransmitter at the very low? That is the problems. Next slide. My mind, I have a thinking. Maybe the nanobubble can be used for that. Nanobubble is a bubble, very tiny bubble. It's about less than 100 nanometers. And I found this technology of nanobubble from the Japanese friends. They have a very good ideas how to make the nanobubble. Just try to compress the water and then release it suddenly with a strong compressions. Then we will have, of course, there is micro bubble, macro bubble, but there is also many nano bubbles. We cannot see that nano bubble because it is very tiny. This is the micro bubbles. This is micro. This is macro, and this is the nano bubble. And when we try to observe, this nanobubble can persist in the water more than 10 years. So they, in Japan, they use for in the fisheries, in the fisheries, to put a high concentration of oxygens. Next slide, please. Excuse me. Sorry, can help us to dim the light? Anybody? Dim the light, please. No? Nggak ada yang bisa matikan lampu depan? Nggak ada ya? Nggak ada petugas hotelnya ya? Oke. Ini sebetulnya yang ingin menunjukkan, I would like to show you that is a nanobubble and this is distilled water. When we use the nanobubble with these laser pointers, we can see the line here. The line here. This is the line because there is a nanobubble. Because there is nanobubble. Nggak ada ya? Ya sudahlah, sudah. Okay, no problem. Everybody can see this line, and there is no line because this is just only water. So next slide, please. This is how we can make the nanobubble. I learned it from Professor Zhang of Shanghai K Laboratory. This is Nirmalkar and Sharma is from India. They use such instrumentation to make the nanobubble. This is nanopore. Then when we try to gas supply over here, and then the membrane module over here, and the pump to have a compression, and then it's a water flow, and then there is a ceramic, we will have a nanobubble. This is a nanobubble, this is macro and micro. The rising of velocity will be higher at the nanobubbles. Next slide, please. This is to the light. I need more. Saya butuh cahaya yang lebih redup. Gimana caranya ya? Iya. Bisa. Terus lagi, bisa? Diredupkan lagi, nggak kelihatan masalahnya. Diredupkan lagi, terus. Bisa? Ya, ini sudah maksimum. Oke, makasih. Matiin semua, gelap bagus itu. Karena ini sebetulnya ada saya membuat lingkaran. I make a kind of diagrams of nanobubbles. Ya. Kalau dimatikan sementara semuanya bisa? Nggak bisa ya? Udah kelihatan ya? Mungkin ada yang kelihatan, saya khawatir ada yang nggak kelihatan. Ini bubble, ini udara, gas. Di tengah ini gas. Di sini itu adalah sebuah wilayah. Di sini sebuah wilayah ya. Di situ ada mutual diffusion coefficients. Di sini ini agak lumayan, terima kasih. Ini. Di sini ada bulk liquid. Di sini cairannya di situ. This is a liquid and this is the gas ya, gas. And then there will be slowly dissoluted. Will be slowly dissoluted to the water. The gas, the gas slowly dissoluted. So if we put the gasotransmitter on this gaseous phase, so this nanobubble will provide very tiny, slowly dissolutions of the gas. It means we can make an hormesis. Can you understand what I mean? Bahasa Indonesia ya. Ya. Jadi ini nanobubble. Nanobubble ini langsung di sini adalah air. Water. Nanobubble ini gas. Di sini gas, di sini air. Tidak ada batas. Karena gas itu bersifat hydrophobic. Nitric oxide, hydrogen sulfide, carbon monoxide, they are all hydrophobic. So they will make a bubble. Then they will dissolute it. Dia akan keluar perlahan-lahan ke media, air. Perlahan-lahan. Nah ini hanya ada di nanobubble. Kalau dia ukurannya itu puluhan nanometer. Oke, jadi kita akhirnya bisa membuat teknik untuk memberikan peluang terapi dengan mengontrol gasotransmitter di dalam tubuh kita. Karena dia bisa dalam konsentrasi yang sangat rendah dan konstan. Slide berikutnya. Ya, ini hasil-hasil penelitian Profesor Li, Zhang, dan Wang dari Shanghai K Laboratory tahun 2023. Dan tidak ada publikasi lain selain dari mereka. Terpaksa belajarnya ke mereka. Diskusinya ke mereka. Surat-suratan ke mereka, nggak ada tempat lain. Slide berikutnya. Ini kajian dari orang Korea, Shin Park Kim Jim Yu, but it is very old, 2015, about the theory of nanobubble. This is the SEM, scanning electron microscope image. But this is just only showing, but there is no theory at the times. Slide, next slide. This is a cocktail gases within bulk nanobubbles. It is hydrogen and oxygen.
5 minutes more.
Okay, thank you. Gaseous is hydrogen and oxygen, and this is gaseous neurotransmitter. All together can be mix-ups in a solution. We call this as a cocktail gaseous. This is for the energy, this is for neurotransmitters. Next slide, please. Now we have a community-based research, translational medicines. We have the activities supported by PT Dunia Sehat for financial management, also PT Saturia Pharma for nanobubble infusion producers. Next slide. Yeah, we have now recently is undergoing phase 3 studies for Parkinson's at the Brawijaya University Hospital. Next slide. This is we have already have to be a propandus voluntarily for this session, and we have infused these nanobubbles. Next slide, please. This is also, we have a project, Wellness for the Youngs, sport medicines. This is prepared for PON, Pekan Olahraga Nasional. Yeah. Next slide. The result is hypertension will be lowerings. And also the blood pressures of systole and diastole, they are already lowering for the people having hypertension. Next slide. This is a pain decrease after the last 10 times nanobubble therapy. Next slide, please. This is a dementia-related signs, also have a better life quality. Next slide, please. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. For next session for discussion. Maybe there is some question answered or comment. Please raising your hands. We have 6 minutes more. 1, 2, okay, 2. Please say your names and from institution from where, and then, okay.
Okay, so good morning everyone. My name is Ida Arini Dinana. I'm from Rutsumekan University. So my question is, this is probably applicable for both the speakers. So even though the efficacy of traditional medicine proven for decades for its benefit through empirical science knowledge, and even the latest technology also prove the benefit of traditional medicine, but nowadays there is not a lot of people that know the potential of traditional medicine. So how did you see the future of traditional medicine? And then the next question is, what differentiate traditional medicine and modern medicine? How can traditional medicine compete with the modern medicine? Thank you so much.
Okay, that means your question directed to both.
I think the question is still applicable for both.
Okay, next
speakers.
Next person over there. Please say your name.
Yes, thank you very much, Prof. I'm Alman from Muhammadiyah Purwokerto. It's the next province. So I have 3 questions, maybe overlapping. The first one is, a bit about me. I'm from Tropmed, tropical medicine, and I'm the one who opposed actually with Jamu herbal medicine. That's why the dean asked me to here to learn from the expert. Okay, the first question, you mentioned the high dose of the Campo medicine, especially for the NO, it can become a double-edged sword, so like double katana. The one become the inflammatory and the other side become the anti-inflammatory. My question is, during cytokine storm, like in the COVID-19 or even the leptospirosis whale disease, when and how you give the patient for the crude Campo, or even the nanobubble, the one that actually it's very interesting for me. That's the first one. And then second one, since my background is from the Western medicine, is there any validation for Campo medicine? For example, in the Western part, we familiar with that randomized controlled trial. Maybe for the Eastern part, we have some, maybe some tools for validate for the Campo medicine. That's the second one. And then the third one, I note that you mentioned about the nanobubble is very tiny, less than 10 nano. But you teach us there is some red line that we can evaluate. Oh, there, that's nano. So can you elaborate more about this one? We cannot see that one, but you can teach us the marker to evaluate whether it's nano or not. And yeah, maybe that's
okay. There's three
thank you very much, Professor.
Okay. Thank you for the first question for direction to Boots. Presenter, so maybe I hope Professor Setiman first.
Thank you very much, Professor Sasmito. Would you please my slide, my slide, the first or the second slide. Yeah, this is the problems of, we have a different thinking cultures between Westerns and Easterns. And the Jamu is an Eastern thinking cultures. The Eastern thinking culture are usually their traditional, non-linear thinkings, comprehensive, transcendent, and lack of scientific explanations, because it is too complex. The Western culture usually, they can have the knowledge using the analytical approach. Everything should be simplified. Otherwise, we cannot talk about the bioactive components. Yeah, because the bioactive component, actually, they are interacting with the other components. And the Jamu, we take the Jamu, all our drinks, all our eat in a more, in a whole, what we call, kita telan semuanya ya, kita sehingga, so it is very difficult to have knowledge from that. So the Western culture, Western thinking culture is very good for us to know about the effects of any biological active compound to our body, so we can explain it. But in fact, we drink all of these things, or we eat all of the things, we use all of these components to have better condition, life quality, okay? So it means we should have another perspective. When we are trying to know Jamu with chemistry only, we should have an analytical approach. But actually, we have another scientific approach like physics, modern physics. when there is many knowledge about, for instance, magnetisms, how about the interaction, the quantum physics, and everything actually we can measure. For instance, the components of temulawak, yeah, the whole component can be analyzing using electron spin resonance. We will have magnetic resonance. That magnetic resonance should be considered for Jamu. But it is very difficult to be considered if we have only a chemical-based perspective. So in the future, yeah, the traditional medicine should have another perspective to enrich our knowledge about Jamu. We should use the modern physics. Yeah. Now that is, I think, the point. So we can have some kind of non-linear perspective. Yeah. I think that's all. Otherwise, they will lag behind Western's drug and pharmacological knowledge. Yeah, I think that is the.
Okay. So about the future of traditional medicine, so you can see two ways. One way is at least Kampo medicine is good at several symptoms or syndromes. For example, Shakuya Kanzoto for calf pain, as I explained, and also some kind of anemia, and also syndromes around menstruation and postmenopausal syndromes. These are good indication of Kampo medicine. So Kampo medicine stays, and Kampo medicine is very effective for these syndromes or disease. So it lasts long. And the other way of the use of Kampo medicine and also Jamu, I cannot say much about Jamu, but new medicine can be obtained from the source of crude drugs. You can imagine paclitaxel comes from a plant. So it is found by the medicinal plant. So you have the second largest biodiversity. So you can have a chance to see or find these new drugs from medicinal plants in your source. So future of traditional medicine is not so bad, rather than very good. Second question I forget. What you asked?
What differentiate traditional medicine and modern medicine, and how can both of them compete?
Yeah, if the evidence is very clear, it can be modern medicine. So in Japanese pharmacopoeia or Japanese government discriminate. If clinical evidence is good, then it becomes on the line of Western medicine or traditional medicine. Either is okay. Clinical trials is essentially required for that. Yeah, so many Kampo medicine as under clinicals are like a modern clinical aspect. So it's good and it will be better used. Yeah, that's all. Okay? Yeah, okay. The next one is cytokine storm. So there's no way to use Kampo medicine. So vaccination is the best to prevent. And also other drugs, anti-IL-1, IL-6 antibody or other things, several medicines are much better than that. Kampo medicine is usually used for such like a postmenopausal or the patient between healthy and disease. So we call it mibio. So it is located just between healthy and disease. These people has troubles, but not disease. In this case, it is very good. So postmenopausal syndrome is one of the things, and anemia is also the things. But for cytokine storm, not. And second one, formulation. It is completely determined by the completely defined by the Japanese pharmacopoeia. So it is very so anyone can see on the web. So there is no problem. And quality or contents of major constituents should be checked more than what percent it is determined, it is described in the pharmacopoeia. So it is very easy. So even in a drugstore, you can check, pharmacists can check the quality of crude drugs. So it is very strict. And red line, yes, red line. So usually acute toxicity and chronic toxicity are carefully checked by each drug, each compound medicine and also pharmaceuticals. It is exactly the same for modern medicine and compound medicine. So red line we can see, but of course in the safety area we determine the dose of compound medicine and Western medicine. So there's no need to care about red lines for compound medicine. Of course, Japanese pharmacopoeia checked the major content of major constituents. So it is very important point to check by HPLC or other method to see really safe or not. So red line should be checked by this. Okay?
Okay, thank you. I think, okay.
Dari Pak sama Amik ya tadi ya, dari Universitas Muhammadiyah ya, Purwokerto. Memang untuk melihat nanobubble itu pakai laser, sinar laser. We use a laser light. Because there is we cannot see by our eyes. So we need a laser for their reflection. And this just only show there is a nanobubble. But there is instrumentations. I have that instrumentations. And maybe this is the only instrumentations in Indonesia. Maybe in Southeast Asia. That is we call as nano tracker analyzers. Yeah, this is a Malvern Productions of nano tracker analyzers, and we can see the concentration of nanobubbles. We can see the size of nanobubble, and also the zeta potentials of the nanobubbles. And then we can also use that for the productions. Quality assessment of the nanobubble. Now we have the technology to develop 1.5 billion nanobubble per milliliters. Yeah, that is, but the nanobubble that we use for us for infusion, that is about 50 million nanobubbles per milliliter. So we should dilute it. Yeah, we should dilute it. And the Malvern's nano tracker analyzer, they use lasers. From their reflections, we will try to measure the concentration, the size, and the zeta potentials. And that is all.
Okay, I think it's enough. Yeah. And both scientists have explained clearly about the differences of Kampo medicine and also Jamu. Can you imagine a Jamu? That's been a jumpy usodo. They need something spiritually. It's not easy to explain, of course. Yeah. And Professor Sutiman say about the holistic system. This is a different way of thinking. If we think about the westernized way of thinking, this should be every particle should be clearly what the effect of this. So if we think about so many particles there, you use a crude plan or something. That's many way of thinking that we cannot understood. Okay, I think it is nice to discuss, and then that's mean as scientists it's not finished. This future research for our goal. Okay, we say thanks to all of you. Mr. Mikio and Mr. Sustayan, but before that, something
yeah,
give
maybe
to you. Okay.
For the speakers and the moderator, please stay where you are. And before that, I would say thank you for your greatest presentation. And now we're gonna have some souvenir that will be representatively given by the chairman of the 15 ICGRC in conjunction with the first ICGIM. So, yeah. So maybe for the photographer, please stand by to capture this moment. And for our first speaker, please give applause to Professor Mikio Nishizawa from Ritsumeikan University, Japan. Okay, now we're moving to our second speaker, Professor Sutiman Bambang Sumitro from Universitas Brawijaya, Indonesia. And also for Professor Muhammad Sasmita Jati as moderator that have been captivating this moment. Okay, thank you very much. Maybe we're gonna have one photo group session first. Once again, I would express my gratitude for our keynote speakers and also our moderator. And ladies and gentlemen, the first plenary session is now over. And I trust that you have all found the presentation informative and engaging. As we move forward, I am pleased to introduce you to our next distinguished keynote speakers for the second plenary session. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Salizawati Muhammad Salhimi from School of Pharmaceutical Sciences, University Science Malaysia, Malaysia, and Professor Yuli Widyastuti from National Research and Innovation Agency, BRIN Indonesia. And this plenary session will be moderated by Dr. Dinia Rizky Dwijayanti, which her expertise is in biology and pharmacognosy. For Dr. Dini Rizky Dwi Jayanti, please lead the plenary session. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Meet me again in this session. Okay, distinguished speakers, guests, participants around of the world. Also, thanks to ICGRC and ICGIM committee for having me as a moderator in this second plenary session. In this session, I will guide the presentation from Dr. Saliza from USM Malaysia. Please welcome to the stage, Dr. Saliza. So, Dr. Salizawati Muhammad Salimi from School of Pharmaceutical Sciences, University Science Malaysia. She was graduated from King's College London in 2005. And now her interest of research about cancer drug discovery, specifically in the molecular mechanism underlying the anti-cancer properties of various phytochemical and pure compounds of natural and synthetic origin. Also, our second keynote speaker in this session is Prof. Yuli from BRIN, Indonesia. Please welcome, Professor. Professor Yuli Widyastuti graduated from Doctor of Biotechnology Postgraduate School, Gajah Mada University at 2017. And now her office in Research Center of Pharmaceutical Ingredients and Traditional Medicine, National Research and Innovation Agency, Republic of Indonesia, or BRIN. Thank you for coming in this conference, Dr. Saliza and also Prof. Yuli. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move to the first session. We will hear the presentation from Dr. Saliza. She will talk about exploring the anti-migratory effects of germachrome and chromosome 2 from curcuma aeruginosa on triple negative breast cancer cells. Dr. Saliza, now time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning all. Okay. First of all, I would like to thank the organizer for inviting me here to share my research here with all of you. Honestly, I can't help but feeling like I don't belong here, because most people are working with Jamu and all this traditional medicine. Well, my training is more like Western medicine, where I'm like going for pure compound. Okay, but I do believe over the years doing research, I do believe that these two, Western medicine and Eastern medicine, we can actually integrate together. And I did my PhD in King's College London. That's what is written on my certificate. But I actually only registered to King's College London, but my lab is actually in Cancer Research UK, and because they are not academic institution, so I have to register with King's College at that time, because their lab is in King's College at that time. So that's a little bit about myself. And in my PhD, I study these anti-cancer properties of some more like not anti-cancer, but anti-cancer signaling pathways. Yeah, signaling pathways involving of receptor called integrin alpha V beta 6. So when I come back to Malaysia, I actually going into natural product. It's not by design. It happens like that. In 2006, I got my PhD in 2005, and in 2006, there's a lady with a group of friends that came to our university. Oh, before that, I forgot to mention that I'm from School of Pharmaceutical Sciences. We are in Penang, Malaysia, which is not a central part, which is not in Kuala Lumpur, it's north part. So she came with a group of friends. She's a breast cancer patient, and her disease is all at advanced stage. So she came to our lab, and with some herbs, okay, and asked us to actually analyze what is it in it. The thing is, according to her, and she come with her medical records as well. And I remember some of the things that she brought to us as Strobilanthes crispus, that's in Malaysia we call it pecabeling, and green apples, and some curcuma longa, I think. So she come and tell us how she make the concoction. And actually because she, in her words, she said that she's cured of her disease. And coming from Western kind of medicine training, I actually very skeptic. That is why we asked for medical records. We asked for medical records like before and after. Actually, her tumor, breast tumor, actually regressed and a lot. And the thing is, we did try to study because, like everybody said just now, like traditional medicine and all this complex. But I honestly at that time I don't know how to handle this. So we go to the major thing that she brought to us, which is Strobilanthes crispus. And at that time, when we tested on cancer cell lines, it's actually cytotoxic. It killed the cancer cells. Okay, but unfortunately, when I test the concentration to the normal cells, it's also killed the normal cells. So in terms of that, so we did not continue further from the way we think, from Western kind of thinking, that that's not worth going on, you know. But she's doing fine because we are looking at one thing, but she's taking. It's not just for another thing. And unfortunately, because we did not get grants for that, we did not continue to that. So that's when my interest in natural product comes. And then besides, before curcuma, I've been also looking at giant starfish and cancer plantae from the sea for a cytotoxic effect from the toxin, and also other plants. But then we start, I look into misai kucing, which is not Strobilanthes, sorry, I'm very bad at them. Octosiphon stamineus. Okay, misai kucing, at that time with my co-researchers, at that time we have a senior professor ask us to test for anti-cancer. And then now that it has been, there is a product made by my co-researchers, because he left academic and go and develop that as a nutraceutical. So he started his own company. So we go, then after that I start looking at Curcuma aeruginosa and also other curcuma. And for this presentation, I'm going to focus on the Curcuma aeruginosa on triple negative breast cancer cells. Okay, and besides testing on cancer cells, just before COVID, we also testing some of the compound that we isolated on multi-drug resistant cell lines, which is cancer cell lines that is resistant to many conventional drugs. But unfortunately, COVID come and then it stopped. Now we are restarting again. Okay, but our main focus on the lab is actually on triple-negative breast cancer cell lines. And also, we are testing also compound isolated from curcuma on dengue virus. And recently, it's got published, but unfortunately, because I normally publish in paid journal, there is no open access, and I got very restrictions to share that. But in my CV, I listed the paper. Okay, we got that on dengue, and also we are also starting to look at some of the compounds, isolated compound on the activation of T cells. Okay, activation of T cells in the hope that it can modulate immune cells to kill cancer cells. Okay, let's go to the presentation today. I cannot see that, so let me... Okay, so I would like to give just a brief introduction about cancer. So basically, cancer is a group of disease which is characterized by uncontrolled growth of abnormal cells, because we also have normal cells that proliferate very rapidly, but these are normal. But when we're talking about cancer, they grow very quickly, but they are abnormal cells. And they also can invade nearby tissues and also spread to other parts of the body. So basically that's the general definition of cancer. And typically, cancer results from genetic mutation that's actually disrupt normal cell functions. So you see that when you work with normal cell culture, and you look, when they grow, for example, when they grow and they touch their neighbor, and then they will stop growing. That's the characteristic of normal cells. For cancer cell, when they grow and they touch their neighbor, they still grow on top of each other. So in a way, like cancer cell can be viewed as like they don't respect their neighbors. They don't care about each other, they just grow. Okay, this is because the signaling is already abnormal. And cancer cell, if it is, when you look at cancer cell, actually when the surface of cancer cell, the cell surface of cancer cells under the electron microscope is very different from the cell surface of normal cells. And then sometimes you wonder how come the immune system did not see this as foreign, because it's changing already. But that's how cancer cells as well. The characteristic of cancer, it can evade immune system. So if it's left unchecked, these cells will actually circulate in the blood and also enter the lymphatic system. So cancer, as a disease, it is a complex disease. It's not like we mentioned, like cancer is one cancer. Like I have many friends who are doctors, and what they say to me is actually highlight how complex is cancer. They say that if, na'uzubillah, God forbid, that if someone got cancer, is diagnosed with cancer, that person must go and seek 2 oncologists minimum. Because for the cancer on the same person, if you see 2 oncologists, they may prescribe to you different treatment. So that's how cancer is complex. And cancer is influenced by many factors like genetics. Like for example, you have breast cancer and prostate cancer. This has a strong genetic influence. For example, if you have BRCA1, BRCA1 or BRCA2 mutation, then the chances of the risk of getting cancer is much higher. Okay, and some cancer also is influenced by environment. For example, liver cancer, the exposure to aflatoxin is actually strongly linked to the liver cancer. And also, our lifestyle, we have sedentary life, obesity, that also can contribute to give you a higher risk of cancer. And also infections, for example, cervical cancer is strongly linked to human papillomaviruses. If you have untreated, repeated infection of human papillomavirus, and if it's not treated properly, you have a much higher chance, perhaps over 90% chance of developing cervical cancer. So that's cancer. And also because the nature of cancer, the treatment also varies by the types of cancer and also the stage. And the option normally includes surgery, radiation, chemotherapy, immunotherapy, and also targeted and hormone therapy. Okay, so conventionally, there's lots of cytotoxic drugs is used, like tamoxifen, all this thing is 5-fluorouracils is used in the treatment of cancer. But nowadays, with the advancement in technology, we have immunotherapy like Keytruda. If you heard about Keytruda, that been approved in 2014, which is considered a breakthrough in cancer treatment. Keytruda is from Merck. Okay, from Merck. I think previously there's other smaller biotechnology company developed in the process of developing it, and then Merck acquired it. So Keytruda, it was first approved by FDA in 2014. Nowadays, as of last June, FDA already approved 40th indication that can use Keytruda in the treatment. So that's how rapidly the biotechnology changed the landscape of cancer treatment. And also Keytruda is an immune response checkpoint that targeting PD-1 pathways, PD-1 program death pathways that actually controlling the T lymphocyte, the activity of T lymphocyte. Okay, and also, of course, you have a breakthrough technology like chimeric antigen receptor (CAR) T cells therapy. This is involving the modification of T lymphocytes. Okay, basically the patient drugs has been taken out and then do modification and then put it back to the body. Do modification to activate T cells, because T cells is the one that kills cancer cells, and then put back into the patient's blood, and then T cells supposed to get cancer cells. So that's cancer. And let me talk to you a little bit about triple negative breast cancer and why in my lab we are interested in triple negative breast cancer. So basically TNBC is an aggressive subtype of breast cancer, and then they are characterized by the absence or the lack of these three receptors, which is estrogen receptors, progesterone receptors, and human epidermal growth factor receptor 2, which is HER2. Because you know, many conventional drugs like for example tamoxifen, it needs, the mechanism is binding to the receptor. But because these subtypes of cancer, they did not express this receptor on the cell surface, so this drug doesn't actually work for them. So when they did not respond to hormonal therapy or HER2 targeted treatment, for example Herceptin target HER2 receptor, so it is very challenging to treat this subtype of cancer. So basically TNBC accounts about between 10 to 20% of total breast cancer cases. Okay, but it is more common in younger women and those with a BRCA1 gene mutation. Okay, this is the thing. I think I've read in one paper, I can't remember, but when you, for menopausal women, they to get the NBC is not that common, okay, unless you got some environmental factors that can trigger it. But this is sort of characteristic of triple negative breast cancer. And also, when you diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer, you have a higher risk of recurrence, even though the treatment work for the cancer to come again is actually higher compared to other subtypes of cancer. And also the overall prognosis for triple negative breast cancer is poor compared to other subtypes of cancer. So the standard treatment includes surgery, chemotherapy, and some cases also radiation therapy. So that is why we think there is a gap in the area, because we need more either compounds or molecules or herbals to actually to fulfill this gap. Okay, I am going to give to mention a little bit about hallmarks of cancer. So I think people who work in biology know these hallmarks of cancer, which is proposed by Hanahan and Weinberg. That was the first one in 2000, and then in, I think, 2011, they update this. So basically, these hallmarks of cancer, they give the general characteristic of cancer. So among others, cancer resists cell death. So somehow they manage to resist the signal, to inhibit the signal related to cell death. And also sustaining, they can sustain proliferative signaling, so they can grow. And also they can evade growth suppressor, and then they can induce angiogenesis, and they can also activating invasion and metastasis. This is the hallmark of cancer that my lab are looking into. We are looking at the compound that can activate the invasion and metastasis of cancer. So basically, when you kill cancer with cytotoxic drug, it is like direct killing. You just kill it directly, okay? It's like you shoot that cancer cells, okay, die. That's what equivalent to cytotoxic drugs. But for other kind of the treatment, say for example, if you modulate immune system, okay, that's another thing, like indirectly you can kill cancer cells as well. And also like what we are doing, we are trying to inhibit the inhibition, the invasion and cancer metastasize. That's our target for our compound. So that if the cancer doesn't invade to the surrounding tissues or doesn't metastasize from primary site, that will give more time for immune system to target them, and also for other conventional therapy, for other therapies to work and kill it. So that's why we look at the invasion, a compound that can inhibit the cancer cell invasion. Okay, now we go to this Curcuma aeruginosa, which I believe you all know more than me, coming from people who work in Jamu. Then Curcuma aeruginosa is no stranger to herbal medicine. In Malaysia, maybe Jamu is not as strong as in Malaysia.
10 minutes more, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I took so long, okay. But in Malaysia, we have TCM, traditional, we call it traditional complementary medicine. So we are trying to put not, you choose either modern medicine or this traditional medicine, but you actually want to both treatment to work side by side. Okay, I'm going to skip this Curcuma aeruginosa. So I'm going, this is the cell line that I'm working, which is MDA MB231. This MDA MB231, they are lack of all the three receptors I mentioned in the triple negative breast cancer. So that is why we use this cell for our study. Okay, I won't go into detail into this. Okay, let's go to some of the results. So we isolated 12 compounds from Curcuma aeruginosa, and then These are the IC 50 values from the of the compounds, and actually we do cytotoxicity test, MTT assay, because we want to know what are the dose, the IC50 for cytotoxicity, and we want to work at dose below that, okay, because we are looking at non-direct kill of the cancer. So the compound that I'm going to talk is Gemacrone and also Comosan 2. And the IC50 for Gemacrone and Comosan 2 is around 200 micromolar. And this is about the assay we do. Okay, if diagram on your next slide, please. Okay, your diagram on the left is like normal cells and cancer cells. The blue one is cancer cell where they are invading through the tissues. So on the bottom one is actually basement membrane where the cells attach to it. So we try to mimic this condition in the lab. But it is, I have to say, it is simplified, still simplified version. So we have things like what we call it transwell assay. Sometimes it's a same principle as Boyden chamber. You have, I cannot show it to you. You have upper well where you put the cells, and the cell has to migrate through the membrane that has pores in it, that has holes in it, about 8 micron holes. They have to migrate through to the bottom well. Okay, so that's the concept of it. That's for migration assay. And then for invasion assay, we layer the upper well with artificial basement membrane, what we call Matrigel. Okay, this is a commercial product that is mimic the basement membrane. So the cancer cell, MTMB, has to migrate and invade through to go to the other, to the well. And we count this. Okay, so for Gemacrone, for transfer migration assay, you see the control is 100%. We at 75 micromolar, we got around 60% inhibition, and 150 micromolar, we got about 80% inhibition. So that's how it looks, the control, and this is the photos is the cells that coming through the well. Okay, after we let it invade. So less cell coming. So we know that Gemacrone is actually inhibiting migration, transfer migration. And also the same pattern we see when we put a layer of Matrigel. The cells that coming through the Matrigel, invade through Matrigel, becoming less when we add Gemacrone. And gelatin zymography is actually a technique where we put gelatin in polyacrylamide gel, and then we put the media that we grow the cancer cells. The media contains MMP, which is matrix metalloproteinases. We focus on 9 and 2 because these two are implicated in breast cancer and also correlates to poor prognosis of breast cancer. And we see Gemacrone also inhibited the expression and also the activity of the, because of this cancer cell line. We also do ELISA, but I don't show ELISA here. So the same pattern we see with, basically with Comosan 2. So this is the thing that when I think that where we can integrate modern and traditional medicine, because sometimes during isolation process, we see sometimes when you try to isolate, when you fractionate something and isolate compound, suddenly you lose the activity, while you see it in the crude extract. So that there is somehow it's. This compound must be working together. So that there is, I think that there is a holistic approach to cancer treatment. So we should not only rely on cytotoxicity, we should also look at other things like the ability to modulate immune response. And also there is a, maybe the natural compound can also work synergistically with conventional therapy. Okay, I'm going to skip that one. Next slide, please. And next slide, please. Okay, this, can you Next slide. Okay, this is example of some synergism of natural compounds with anti-cancer drugs. For example, curcumin can actually potentiate the cytotoxicity of drugs like cisplatin and doxorubicin. This is how you can integrate these two together. And also, you have a compound like quercetin can affect the activity, can inhibit the efflux of drugs. Basically, efflux of drug is like removal of the drugs from the cell. So quercetin can stop this. So you have more drugs inside the cells. And also can compound like silymarin, that is from milk tea cell, can actually reduce the side effect, can protect the liver. And it helps when it works together with unconventional therapy. Next. Okay. I'm going to mention a little bit about botanical drugs. Botanical drugs, this is something to do with, this is the definition, it's actually consists vegetable material, which may include plant material, everything, but it is not highly processed. When it is processed and isolated, it's not considered botanical drugs anymore. And these botanical drugs must have background of safe use, either ethnopharmacologically data, and you can actually do clinical trials for this. And this, I think, botanical drugs is actually a bridge between traditional and modern medicine. This is you can check this document. Actually, it's been published in 2016 by FDA. All this I get from FDA website. And so far, there are already 4 botanical drugs being produced. Means when you call it botanical drugs, it will be prescribed. Doctor can prescribe. So the dose and things, and for specific indication. And also now there is other OTC drug, over-the-counter drug, has been currently been reviewed under FDA, including psyllium and senna, all those kind of things. Okay, so I think the challenge and future directions for natural product is like and modern medicine is to integrate these two together. I don't think we should choose one or the other. And I think this I can say because I learned through researching natural product, try to isolate things. Now this is like, but there are things why clinician, sometimes in Malaysia, at least clinician, they are resistant to get natural product. Because the problem, one of the things is dosing. I think people in pharmacy dosing, for clinician prescribe, you need to know the dose. Those are the things that we can actually work, and so that it can be used side by side. Okay, and I think that's my reference, and my references. And the next slide, please. Okay, I like to, my work I presented here is mostly the work of my student, Muhammad Al-Amin, and also Dr. Nagla, and those are my collaborators. I can't do all these things without my students and my co-researchers. So thank you all for listening. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Saliza, for the nice presentation. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we will move to our second keynote speakers in this session. Prof. Yuli, please. She will talk about standardization of raw materials for safe and efficacious Jamu product.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Thank you for Ibu Moderator for the nice introduction. First of all, I would like to thank to the organizing committee for having me today. And so sorry, we are entering to the critical times before and after lunch. That's mean the critical time. Before lunch, we have experience with the less supply of sugar to our brain, so it is limited our concentration. And then before after lunch, we entering the situation where all energy come to our stomach to digest our food, and then lead to the sleepiness. So I hope you all still have a little bit endurance to join my presentation today. And My presentation focusing on standardization of herbal raw material to or as a way to quality assurance for the safe and efficacious jamu. And the outline of my presentation covers of introduction, the trend in jamu usage, problems of jamu standardization, and as well as the raw materials of jamu, and the stages of standardization effort, which are commonly done by my college and my student in our laboratory at Tawangmangu. So I hope a part of all of you have been went to Tawangmangu laboratory. Prof. Sasmito, have you been there also? And the last is conclusion. Okay, I will start my presentation with the simple questions. Why jamu matter? This morning, Bapak Sandiaga Uno already mentioned that jamu in Indonesia share the big economic value to the DGP, almost 20 trillion rupiah. And besides it's the role of an economic value in Indonesia, jamu also embedded with our tradition, with our culture. I bet that most of all of us already have experience with the jamu consumption, even once in our lifetime. Is it agree? You already experienced with jamu, and besides it has the big role in our economic. It is also absorb the millions of labor in formal and informal sector, and also non-formal sector, such as jamu gendong, bok jamu, we call it, and also the jamu seller in market. Next. Jamu itself derived from two Javanese words, jampi and usodo. This morning, Prof. Sasmito already mentioned also. Jampi, it means the modality, the products. Jampi, it means the praise, doa-doa. And the usada, it means the medication, the way of medication. So, jamu consists of two different approaches by using the product, and also based on the beliefs. So it is rich in philosophy, maybe similar to the Kampo at Japan or Oriental medicine at Korea. This is blending from the science approach and also the beliefs, the culture, heritage from the ancestor. Next. This picture, it's real evidence of our jamu practicing since the immemorial time. It could be seen at the temple, the sculpture, and also the ancient books, which could be found in the library, especially owned by the royal family at Solo or at Yogyakarta. How the picture describe peoples in the ancient time to prepare jamu, and how to practicing to the patient. Next. And herbal product market potency cover to many kinds of products, from herbal supplement, herbal teas, herbal beauty and personal care, cosmetic, it means, and now the recent day we know very famous about aromatherapy. This is come from the essential oil and blending of essential oil to develop the products as aromatic medicine. And in the world market, herbal medicine also share the significant part of the world herbal market economic. The economic value of herbal medicine estimated reached to $146.6 billion, and with the compound annual growth rate reached to more than 7%, it will reach more than $200 billion in 2030. So it is a very huge potential to develop our jamu or our herbal medicine to compete with other herbal medicine come from overseas to get the market share in world herbal market. Next. How about in Indonesia herbal medicine situation? In Indonesia, herbal medicine also play an important role in economic aspect and as well as for the healthcare aspect. And based on the BPOM data, right now have been registered more than 50,000 jamu product categorized as jamu and 77 categorized as herbal OHT, extract herbal terstandard, and the rest only 20 products categorized as phytopharmaca. Different with the Kampo medicine in Indonesia, jamu categorized as 3 scheme based on the different registration at Badan POM. Category first jamu, OHT, and then phytopharmaca. OHT should be complied to the preclinical study, and the phytopharmaca should be complied to the clinical study with the human subject for safety and efficacy evaluation. And the numbers of herbal industry tends to increase by the years. This is stimulated also by the COVID pandemic. The trend of the increasing of herbal industry numbers stimulated by the market demand of herbal industry. So this is the consequence logis it's the increasing of demand for the raw material. Ladies and gentlemen, I would talk about the problems of jamu. Yeah. Jamu still lack of evidence base, and beside lack of evidence base, it is very difficult to standardize. Why? Because jamu contains so many principles, active principles. Maybe if one jamu composed by 3 or 5 medicinal plants, so it is the active principle may be more than 500. Since one medicinal plant sometimes contain more than 100 active principle. So it is the complexity how to standardize the jamu product. So that's why the stratification of jamu product from jamu, OHT, and phytopharmaca, it is to screen and to eliminate the unnecessary active principle to getting more purified, so the efficacy could be evaluated more precisely. Next. Now, standardization of jamu need many scientific approach, and it is based on different subject, yeah, from pharmaceutical point of view, from biological point of view, and also from medical point of view. So it's the integration of many sciences need to improve the quality and efficacy of jamu to make the jamu standardized jamu that ensure the quality and the safety is same from batch to batch. Next. Why the quality of raw materials matter? Because as I mentioned before, that any medicinal plants contain so many kinds of active principle. And the efficacy itself, it's not only responsible by a single component. It is the efficacy of Jamu, it's resulted from the interaction from many active principle. So it is need the standardization based on the holistic approach. Next. And the complexity of herbal raw material, it is become from the identity until the processing both on-farm and out-farm technology. This is important to clarify the botanical identity, because in Indonesia, with the huge of biodiversity wealth, it open the opportunity to mix or to substitute the raw material with a similar morphological character. It called adulteration or substitution. It will lead to the harmful of product, sometimes also decrease the quality of the Jamu product. So it is important to standardize the raw material. It is to confirm the products, the Jamu product has the real information regarding the safety and the efficacy, and to maintain the stable of the quality from times to times, because the raw materials come from the on-farm activity is depend on the environment condition, the age of harvesting, and also the technology. It will resulted in the different characteristic, different compound, and different quality. So it is need to get the method, established method, how to make the raw material stable from times to times. Next.
10 minutes more, Prof. 10
Okay,
minutes
thank
more.
you. Yes. This is the basic concept of simplicia or herbal raw material. It should be meet 3 categories. First, as a pharmaceutical ingredient, it should be meet the 3 criteria: purity, stabilization, and free of contamination. And 3 paradigma of pharmaceutical product, it means quality, safety, and efficacy. And the last, simplicia as a raw material should be contained and as the right information and doses and also the levels of the ingredients. Next. 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 No, before that. In Indonesia, the raw material derived from 3 production system. It means
Before that.
yeah. Next. One slide before. Yeah. The 3 production system of raw material in Indonesia come from wild gathering or wild collection. This is pure harvested from the wild population. And the secondly, by the agroforestry system, the farmer culture or grow the medicinal plant in the forest or in the wild environment, but they control the seed, the culture system, and then they harvest in the appropriate times. And the the third system is outgrower cultivation. So we want to shift the production system from the wild collection into the cultivation, because the cultivation could be guaranteed the botanical identification, the same location or the environmental condition, same environmental condition. So it is hopefully by the cultivation we could get the same quality of the product. Next. And the cultivation of medicinal plant, we could refer to many guidelines which are published by several institutions, such EMEA, WHO, and so on. And in Indonesia, Ministry of Agriculture already published the GAP, Good Agriculture Practices, in 1992, and it's already employed by the farmer in several areas. Next. And the next activity to keep the quality from the on-farm preserve and also to improve the quality of the Simplicia, this is the harvest and post-harvest management. This is the important way to make the Simplicia in a good and a best condition. Next. And this is the picture to give the figure out the process from the selection, the appropriate material, washing, draining, slicing, and until the packaging. This is the standard method to make the Simplicia in a high quality or in a high condition. Next. And after the post-harvest handling, the Simplicia should be confirmed to meet all the standardized parameters such as for authentication and botanical evaluation, physical parameter, qualitative and quantitative analysis, microbial contamination, and so on, pesticidal residue and heavy metal analysis. Next. I want concern with the authentication because in Indonesia, the adulteration and substitution of raw material for Jamu product is practicing massively in the market. For instance, next. For instance, the same local name refer to the different species. It will lead the adulteration or substitution for the material. For instance, kunci pepet could be referred to the Kaempferia rotunda or sometimes refer to Kaempferia angustifolia. The wrong selection will lead to the incorrect material, so it will influence the efficacy of the product. Next. This is the same local name refer to the different species also occur to menta species. If we name mint, it is could refer to the different species. It could be referred to the Menta spicata, Menta piperita, and Menta arvensis. Actually, those mint have the different chemical characteristic. That appear by the thin layer chromatography. It's quite different. So if we wrong to select the raw material, it will influence to the efficacy, of course. Next. This is also occur to the jinten hitam. Jinten hitam, it means refer to the different kinds of species. One jinten hitam local and one jinten hitam imported jinten hitam refer to Nigella sativa and one refer to the Corcorus. And the one of them have the toxic effect, especially from the Corcorus species. Next. So the approach to validate the botanical identification is by DNA profiling, because DNA profiling does not depend on the season, on the plant part, on the location. Yeah. It is simple by the profiling. This is our research at the Tawangmangu Laboratory to evaluate the jinten hitam trading in several markets at Yogyakarta and Surakarta. So we found from different markets, they are sell the jinten hitam local as claim for habatus sauda. So that's the adulteration practices by the Simplicia trader. Next. This is also pegagan, gotu kola, with which have the many similar characteristic morphological with other species for claim as a gotukola or pegagan. Next. This is the clear example. The products claim using the Centella asiatica, but the picture in the products not Centella asiatica, but Hydrocortyl verticillata. So this misperception or false using the material. Next. The physical parameter, we have to confirm the physical parameters should be complied to the pharmacopoeia standard, such as moisture content, total ash content, and so on. So this need the post-harvest handling properly to get the best quality of the raw material. Next. And qualitative and quantitative analysis based on the pharmacopoeia in Indonesia. We did use KLT profile or TLC profile and also the chemicals content. Next. Yes, this is the example to standardize of curcuma santorisa based on its chemical profile. This is different with other rhizome from Zingiberraceae family. Indicated that only curcuma santorisa have the band lead to santorizol content, and it could not be found in other rhizome from Zingiberraceae. Next. Yeah. Microbial contamination is yeah. Next. So next. Okay. This to guarantee the eliminating the microbial contamination, so the process should be comply to GLP and GHP requirements from the standard book. Next, yeah. This is different threshold for microbial contamination based on the herbal preparation. Next. Next. Okay. Heavy metal, you can see that heavy metal also the one of quality parameters should be complied by the Simplicia, which mostly exported to overseas. Next. Yeah. Next. Yeah. Pesticide residue also ruled by the WHO as one of the quality parameters. Next. So for the conclusion, I want to address 4 points, important points regarding the standardization of herbal raw material. First, the produce safe and efficacious jamu. Should be supported by providing of qualified herbal raw material. Standardization start from the selection of appropriate species until the manufacturing process, and standardization involved on the important thing of herbal raw material authentication. And the last, herbal raw material standardization is playing a pivotal role to guarantee the safe and efficacious jamu. That's all my presentation. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, Prof. Yuli, for very interesting presentation. So ladies and gentlemen, now we will reach the discussion session. So if you have any question, you can just raise your hand and also say your name. Please. Is there any questions? Yeah.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name Abdul Razak from Padang State University. I'm lecturer at Biology Department. I think I have one question for Dr. Saliza and Prof. Yuli. The first, I have your response about TNBC. Yeah? According standardization TNBC, I think it is very fine for the patient. Because chemotherapy radiotherapy, or surgery, it is not solution. If we want treatment for medicine for cancer, it is very dangerous for human being because many cases in Indonesia, I think, cannot help. What do you think about that? Because some years I read in American journal, any organic chemotherapy, it is from Sirsa, Annona muricata. What do you think about that? I think if we not solution for chemotherapy, it is difficult for treatment cancer because we have solution with organic chemotherapy. It is question for you, for Dr. Sia. Next, for Prof. Yuli, I think very difficult for entrepreneur in Jamu or tukang jamu gendong for standardization like you explained just now. Because the problem in Indonesia is bureaucracy. The bureaucracy or rule of the game cannot give solution for small entrepreneur. It is for big industry. I think we have solution for tukang jamu for making easy standardization, I think. It is our opportunity, academici and researchers here, for give a solution for tukang jamu. If we going this process, standardization like you explained just now, it is cannot give a good solution for entrepreneur or economic value growth for industri jamu in Indonesia, especially in Jawa Timur, very many tukang jamu. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, I try to answer a little bit about TNBC. Yes, you are right that TNBC, there's no standard treatment. Like that's why depending on the oncologist, they try to combine different treatment modalities in the hope to get the cancer. And that's one of the reason why we think there's a gap in that. We need a better one. That is why just now when I mentioned about other therapies that involving immune system, either Keytruda and other chimeric antigen receptor that is used to activate T cells, that's another approach that people are using it now. And that's this is the difficult thing about cancer. That's why I see the hope in using natural products hand in hand with modern medicine, because natural product could be, number one, it can reduce the side effect of the conventional therapy. It can also make the drugs more sensitive, so you don't have to use like very, you can use less dose, and maybe the traditional or a natural product can also help to modulate immune, to activate immune system to kill cancer cells. Because modern medicine we try to dissect and look at the compound of each one. That's the problem with it. That is why sometimes the side effect, even like Keytruda and also CAR-3 therapy, cell therapy, that one is the side effect is even fatal, can be fatal, but it's not used as your first line therapy. Normally when other therapies doesn't work, you go to this one. And also it is expensive. Keytruda and CAR T cells is very expensive. That is why like I look at natural product now as like to work together synergistically with Western medicine. Yeah. And about this Annona muricata, in Malaysia we call it durian Belanda. And at one point it's very popular, and because it's some claims, okay, that it helped them to fight cancer. I think one of it because Annona muricata or durian Belanda, they have like B16 vitamin or laetrile, which is actually can kill cancer cell. But somehow, unfortunately, people been exploiting this. You know, in Malaysia, it's very sad because I actually saw people are selling the leaves to the cancer patients, like RM1 Malaysia, I don't know how many rupiah, but RM1 Malaysia per leaf. And that and the fruits is also expensive. This is very irresponsible. Those kind of thing. When people have cancer, they cling to whatever hopes they get. So that is why, even though when we do research, we must also be careful of like translating the claim, what we observe in clinical trials, to clinical applications. That's what I think. Does that answer your questions? Okay.
Thank you, Pak, for your good question, I think. I also agree that the UMKM or Jamu Gendong, it's not necessary to follow the regulation regarding the raw material standardization. It's very complex and very expensive to be done. But I think I just want to open our view how we improve the raw material quality in the way as a way to improve our jamu status. At least it will be equal with the herbal supplement imported from the overseas. So that's the important perspective for all of us. Not only for the scientists, but also for entrepreneurship. To improve the quality, it is very important because if we ignore the quality, I think we could not bring our jamu into the next class. Yeah, still jamu will see as the traditional, not efficacious product and not produced with the appropriate system. Yeah. So it's just an overview to gathering all the scientific point of view how to make our jamu become a sophisticated product, yeah, for healthcare. And basically for the term of registration, Mbok Jamu or Jamu Gendong and also Jamu Racian, it's not necessary to comply to the registration at Badan POM, Pak. It is excluded for the Jamu registration because the Jamu production only sell in 1 day or maybe not more than 3 days. It is categorized as Jamu Gendong, yeah, categorized as excluded Jamu for the registration. That's it. Thank you, Pak.
Okay, is there any other question from you? Yes, please.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Ida Arinidana from the Ritsumeikan University. First of all, thank you so much for all the presenter for the engaging presentation. My question is for Mrs. Salizawati. So, in your research, you explain the effect of the curcuma aeruginosa on the MDA-MB cancer cell and how it decrease the invasion of that cells. So I would like for you to elaborate more in this, because this is so interesting. And then we also see that the curricula aeruginosa is expected to be a TCM. So what medication or treatment, this treatment, the TCM treatment, expected to work synergistically with, and how did we expect both treatment to interact? Thank you so much.
Okay. Perhaps, like I mentioned earlier about, I take time to explain the transwell migration essay. The transwell migration essay where we actually layer with artificial basement membrane, which is, that is a commercial product where they get it from ascites that grow in mouse, and so they extract that and they make into a gel. So basically, for cancer to get through to the lower chamber, which they have like complete media. Okay, so complete media where like will act as chemoattractant to them. So basically, they have to dissolve. They have to degrade the matrix. So they can make a way to the chemoattractant. So that's somehow, even though it is in a simple way, mimic what happened during the cancer invasion. So it is a functional assay. So we know that it inhibit the function of the invasion. So what I did not present here is what we actually also analyze the genes and try to figure out the pathways that leads that. But we know I also show the zymography, which is zymography measure the activity of MMP9. MMP9, which is a collagenase. In our body, MMP9 degrade collagen laminin, which is the basement membrane that is rich in the area of breast tissues. So that is, we also, in our gene analysis assay, also we have some molecule that is also being inhibited because of that treatment. So we are trying to figure out the pathways, but it will take time. But we know that somehow it involves modulation of MMP9, not MMP2, because MMP2 is there is no change across. Okay, because in breast cancer, MMP9, MMP2, MMP7, MMP13, that is quite is implicated in breast cancer. But we can only analyze MMP9, MMP2 because we're using gelatin. Gelatin is a substrate for those two. But if you want to analyze MMP13 or MMP7, you probably need casein. Casein is a substrate for that one. But the same technique, zymography technique. I think maybe in the interest of time, we can have discussion over lunch or something like that. And I forgot already what I said next. Your next question just now, to integrate all this. That's why I said just now, even though I study pure compound, individual compound, but we hope that we can use this compound that we isolated and study, and to use it as a marker for standardization, so that in the hope that it can help in terms of dosing, okay, dosing for using that alongside conventional drugs. Because at this point, I think to develop it as pure compound as pharmaceutical drugs, I think it's beyond us, because it's going to take, it's very, very expensive. Because we try to, like just now I mentioned about misai kucing, and even that to get registered, it is not as a drug, registered as well. In Malaysia, traditional medicine also has to be registered as TCM, but we cannot, they cannot make claim as anti-cancer, anti-diabetes, that is general claim is allowed, but to get to that is also expensive, because like our research we use, like Dr. Prof. Nico was saying, that we use methanol as well. But if you intend your product to be developed for industry, you cannot use methanol. Methanol is no way. We learned that. You go back and repeat everything for the company with ethanol. Yeah, that kind of thing. Okay.
Thank you for Prof. and Dr. Saliza. Actually, I have maybe one last question. I'm very surprised you studying about Curcuma aeruginosa, because now I and also my student also studying about Curcuma aeruginosa, especially for the anti-inflammatory of the extracts. And in our study, we found that one of the fractions from Curcuma aeruginosa, maybe the compounds from butanol fraction, it has very toxic to macrophages cells. So I want to know, what do you think? Is that germacron and chromoson 2 play the important role at that cytotoxicity? Because the macrophages cell is the immune system cells, as we know. So what do you think about that?
First of all, the extraction can be different, and then and also we have to also be careful about the residual solvent, and we do because like I use, because I cannot, of course we cannot compare directly cancer cell with macrophages, but like I said, we go at a lower dose and we work at dose below the cytotoxic dose. And we actually, with some of the compounds that we isolated, we do actually do screening for inflammatory activity, and it does with some of the compound with nitric oxide. One of my collaborators, Dr. Sarah, is still looking into that. Yeah, those are the things. I think I can understand now why industry doesn't want us to work with methanol and all those, because sometimes it's difficult to remove this. We don't use butanol, yeah, in our thing. So that's one of the things. But yeah, that. But of course, like macrophages and cancer cells, we cannot do direct comparison, because cancer cells, it's very difficult to kill them, and macrophages is actually quite fragile, yeah, to work with. Yeah.
Thank you for both nice presentation from Prof. Yuli and also Dr. Saliza. Now we will reach to the end of this session. Please give the big applause for this session. Okay. Maybe I will close this session and I will give back to Master of Ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dinia Rizky Dwijanti, for leading this panel session successfully. And after this, we have some souvenir for our speakers. So maybe our speakers and the moderator will be stand up. And I would like to invite Professor Muhammad Sasmito Jati as the President of Dewan Jamu Indonesia Jawa Timur to representatively give the souvenir. And yeah, and for our first speakers, Dr. Salizawati. Please give applause to our speakers. And for our next speaker, Professor Yuli Widyastuti. Okay, please give applause once again for our esteemed speakers. Thank you. And also last but not least, our dearest moderator, Dr. And also our dearest moderator, Dr. Dinia Rizky Dwijayanti, for leading this plenary session successfully. Thank you very much. Maybe once again for a photo group session. Once again, thank you very much for our speakers and our dearest moderator. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now concluded our main event, and I would like to remind you the invaluable support that we have received from our sponsors. They are Yayasan Satria Budi Dharma Setia, Genetika Science, Nutrilab Pratama, Alokarsa Utama, Institut Molekul Indonesia, Jamu Ibu, BioWeb of Conferences, Journal of Tropical Life Science, the Journal of Experimental Life Science, Biotropica Journal of Tropical Biology, Journal Biotechnology dan Bioscience Indonesia, and also Agrivita Journal of Agricultural Science. And also I would like to remind you that our generous sponsors have booths at the back of our rooms. And please take some time to visit their booths and learn more about their products and services. They are here to answer any questions that you may have. And following this session, there will be a 30 minutes lunch break. So the parallel session will be start at 1:15. And I kindly request your attention to the following, that our parallel session will be conducted in 4 different rooms. To ensure the smooth transitions, we kindly request that all participants to check the list to find your assigned room. And after that, you can follow our committee that will guide you to the room. And on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to express our gratitude to each and every one of you for gracing us with your presence during this opening ceremony and plenary session. We wish you a delightful and fruitful session ahead. Once more, thank you, and may you relish the remaining moments of ICGRC in conjunction with the first ICGIM. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and see you soon.